afternoon from a trip to China, I came home to this note left by my little girl on the counter. I missed you so much. I love you, with this little heart, with this little tail. And her preschool teachers had always told me that art and writing would go hand in hand in terms of detail. I never believed it. I never understood it. Came home to this message and I thought, oh, isn't that nice? She's using her words, the power of language, and now she's starting into first grade. So in first grade, I came home from a trip to Japan to this note on the counter. I miss you when you are gone. I welcome you back home in Wolfsville. And I started to look at the writing, and there are erasures, there are capitals, there are periods. And I know you say, well, so what? Well, so what? Somebody's got to teach our kids to care about all that stuff. It doesn't just happen. Somebody's got to teach our kids to care about all that stuff. And if you look at the artwork, there's still a heart, but it's wearing a dress. It's got high heels on the feet. Detail in the artwork and detail in the writing going hand in hand, and now as a scientist who likes evidence, I'm starting to see it. And then I came home a couple months later to this note on the counter. Again, this is halfway through first grade. Paragraph with detail, but I looked at the detail in the writing and I looked at the detail in the drawing and I said, wow, that's a teacher at work. That's a teacher at work. I know sometimes it's very, very difficult to try to help people understand what it is that we do. Collect the progress, show the progress. Amazing for me. And of course, now I have this little girl, she's working on her art, working on her public speaking, working on her writing and her science. But when the school year ended and I said, are you excited for summer vacation? She said, yeah. She said, but I'm going to miss school too. And I said, yeah, I know, because you're going to miss your friends. And she said, I'm going to miss my teachers. Go miss my teachers. I know, I said, I can't talk about it too much, so I'm starting to but I'm going to miss my teachers. It's amazing what we do. And it is a hard sell because we know that our students don't just come into school ready to learn about those capitals and periods and everything we're going to try to teach them. That's why we dress up as Einstein. And that's not me, that's Shearer Conley, the 2011 State Teacher of the Year from Florida. That's why she dresses up as Einstein to try to bring science to life for her fourth graders and fifth graders and sixth graders. And then that's why she takes off the wig and trades it for a hat and shades and trying to get students involved in language arts and they're hip hopping and they're doing whatever to get the students involved. And that doesn't stop at the end of elementary school. I know some people think it does, but I know there are middle school teachers in this room, and you are all saints, with patience beyond belief, and you have a very heavy burden on your shoulders because you're that transition time. You're that transitional time. So you still have to be massively creative, but at the same time knowing that at that age, students are already forming opinions that are going to stay with them their entire adult life and having to deal with all that at the same time. And I've gotten some of my best ideas from middle school teachers. I was teaching a class and I was trying to get a discussion going. It was not going very well because the seniors and the AP students were dominating the discussion and the special ed students were feeling left out. And my cousin, who's a middle school English language arts teacher, said, you know what I want to do when I get a great discussion going? She said, I give everybody 2 pennies. I said, yeah? She said, I give everybody 2 pennies and everybody puts in their 2 cents. And I thought, what a great idea. And why didn't I think of that? And it's cost neutral because you get the pennies back in the end. But I tried that. I went into my classroom the next week, I put a jar up on the front, and I said, it doesn't matter when you speak, how long you speak, you can comment, you can change the topic, but everybody's ideas have the same value. Everybody's ideas are worth 2 cents. And all of a sudden, those special ed students started getting up out of their chairs. It's these little things. We've all got these great ideas, and we got to share them. For me, I have it easy because, of course, I teach everybody's favorite subject. Of course, I don't teach everybody's favorite subject. Although I did meet a couple people today who said that chemistry is really their thing, and so that warms my heart. Thank you very much. But yeah, students want to run from this. They want to run from this. And as a high school teacher, I can't dishonor you as elementary school teachers and middle school teachers by saying, well, too bad. This is the way we do it, and if you don't like this, well, too bad. I have to try to work in that creativity too, and that's why I'm always looking for great ideas. I know students love to get up and be active and do labs. So students come into my class, they got 2 questions for me. They want to do one of 2 things. The first question is, are we going to burn something today? And if we're not going to burn something, the second question is, yes, right, are we going to blow something up? This is what students want to do in a chemistry class. And I would be kind of crazy not to tap into that. I know that our students are really into the Harry Potter series, and they've seen the books, or read the books and seen the movies, and they've seen that green flu network, and they say, can we make that in the chemistry lab? And And I say, yeah, we can do that. That's chemistry. And they say, I wonder why in the movie they made that fire green. I wonder why they didn't make it red. And I say, can we make it red? I say, yeah, we can do that. Red's a little trickier, but we can make it red. And I have students who come into my classroom and they say, you know, I am not a science person. I am not a science person. I just want to inform you. I'm a history person. I'm a history person. Well, that's great, because there's a lot of science in history. All of my history buffs can tell me about the Hindenburg explosion on May 6, 1937, and we talk about that explosion, and we talk about the theories and the reason, and they research, and then the word explosion kind of triggers something, and they realize they're in a chemistry class, and they say, can we do that? Like, can we do the Hindenburg explosion in this class? And again, if I'm trying to get students roped in, I say, well, yes, and of course under carefully controlled safety and all of that, yeah, we can do the Hindenburg explosion. We can fill up balloons with hydrogen gas, and students can get a sense of how powerful that reaction really was. I mean, I've never met a student anywhere from any background who doesn't want to shoot off an alcohol cannon. I mean, it's just one of those things that is universally appealing. I mean, really, if I set it up right here and we shot it to the back of the room, you'd want to do it too. There are some things that just appeal to kids, and kids are kids. Kids are kids, and we got to rope them in. But again, you know, we know it's not all about entertainment. It's not all about just keeping them hooked for the moment, because we want all that enthusiasm to translate into that look, that serious look of a scientist, or even better yet, to translate into this look. And this is one of my absolute favorite photographs of any of my students, because Rochelle's lab work is reflected in her goggles, and that sense of pride on her face at knowing that she mastered something really, really difficult. And you know, in this age of technology, and we all know that things are changing, sure, but we still learn more from the faces of our students than we learn from anything else. This is one of my absolute favorite faces, because this face can mean one of two things. This face can mean, wow, that was so cool, and I love this class. Or this face can mean, man, that was not supposed to happen. And I hate this class. And I hate this class. See, this is where we all have a problem, and we all know it. Whether it's a kindergarten student who closes that book because they decide they just don't care and don't want to learn to read, whether it's a middle school student who's kind of checking out mentally, or for me, you know, when a student gets to that point in my class where fascination has become frustration and excitement has become exasperation, that shows up in physical form. It shows up as a white piece of paper. It's a drop slip. It's a drop slip. And that student comes to me one day with that piece of paper in their hand, and it's already signed, right? They got it signed. They are all prepared to tell me about why they are dropping out of my chemistry class. They've got their book in the other hand. And you know what? In that moment, and we know that it's all true, in that moment, it doesn't matter that I have a degree in chemistry from Princeton University. It doesn't matter that I teach a great curriculum. It doesn't matter what technology I have or don't have, or that I have a bag of tricks a mile deep. I mean, all that matters in that moment is if I have a relationship with that student. And that relationship better go pretty deep, because they're going to give me about 60 seconds to talk them out of it. And in that 60 seconds, I hope I have an army of people standing with me: parents, community members, business leaders, coaches, guidance counselors, anybody who can keep our kids on track to what we want for them. And you know, as I've traveled this year, it's very interesting to hear everybody else's perspective on that.